So here's a question from our Ustream listeners.
Yes.
Can acting in a negative way be someone's highest excitement if you consider that positive and negative choices are equally valid?
Acting in a negative way can be someone's highest excitement if they are excited about experiencing nothing but negative consequences in their life, which paradoxically will make it more and more and more difficult for them to be able to choose what excites them.
So in other words...
Because negative energy is segregative, disconnective. Therefore, the more you are excited, so to speak, about choosing negativity, the less capable you will be about making any choices at all. Because that will be the natural consequence of constantly being excited to choose negative states of being, is that you will, in a sense, crystallize and solidify yourself to a point where you will be unable to know that you have the ability to make a choice at all. So if it excites you to remove your ability to know what excites you, then by all means go ahead. But that will be the natural consequence.
It sounds like driving yourself into solitary confinement or something.
In a sense. It's more like driving into thick, viscous mud that will eventually solidify, and you will be stuck in the middle of it, not knowing you're even there.
So how do you get out of that if that happens to someone and they get stuck like that?
Eventually, when you stop making choices and everything is equal and balanced, then the natural proclivity of creation, which is always slightly oriented to the positive, will start pulling you back in a positive direction. Because remember, it's always slightly oriented to the positive because the balance point in the middle allows you the freedom to choose, and that's a positive state of being. So when you stop exercising your right to keep choosing the negative by freezing yourself from the negative consequences, you will suddenly start drifting back toward the positive side, and that can ultimately break you free once you regain the conscious ability to know that that's what's happening.
And it also makes me think of the yin-yang symbol and how no matter how far you go into the darkness, there's always a spot of light and a doorway of light. Yes. Just like when you go into the light, there's always a spot of darkness that can take you back into the darkness. You always have the freedom to choose, but you must always experience the consequences of your choice. And mechanically speaking, what we have just described is the consequence of the mechanical choice of negativity. It just naturally flows or stops flowing